Welcome! In this video, we are doing something that I've never done before on this channel, and that is a how much yarn can I use / how many projects can I make in 1 month. So I sort of filmed a little bit every day until the end, and you'll see what happens. Super fun experience. I hope you enjoy this. So grab some yarn, grab a hook, grab your current work in progress, and grab a drink and enjoy this video detailing my crochet life in August. I am here in front of all of my yarn, and we're going to do something a little bit different in this video. It is August 1st. I am looking to use up some of this yarn so I can buy some more. Nobody heard that. So I really want to challenge myself this month to use up as much yarn as I can. I'm hoping that I'll find some really cool different patterns that I haven't used before and really be able to kind of play with new projects and try new things, and most importantly, use up this yarn. So join me in August as I try to use up some of this yarn. Let's see how it goes. The first thing I need to do is probably decide what kind of yarn I want to use first. I've looked through some patterns and nothing's really calling my name right now. So we're gonna look at the yarn and try to decide what I want to make. I've got a bunch of like half-used balls or skeins of yarn that would probably be a good place to start because they're going to be really much quicker to use up as opposed to something like those that I haven't even broken into yet. So, project 1, I think I'm going to try to use some of this half-used variegated yarn and make a basket or two or whatever. Baskets are relatively quick, so I should be able to put this together fairly quickly. Now we just need to pick some colors. I think the first color that I want to use is this right here because I don't like it. So that is color 1. Secondly, I don't know. I might go down to my acrylic section and see what I've got. I really don't even care if these colors go well together. I'm just looking for a yarn that I've got a lot of. I've got a lot of this blue here. I think I'm going to grab one of these big twists. And I need one more to make it a really nice sturdy basket. I found my third color. So I've got this 1 pound Caron acrylic yarn. This color is peach. I'm going to do that. It's half used. Why not? This is sort of a blue and green color. And then I've got this one, which is a big twist. And the color is dark teal. So, I don't know. We're going to find out how that comes out, how that looks. Best thing about baskets is you can really just use any colors that you have. It can be a completely scrappy basket. That's kind of what I'm going for. I need to use up yarn. This is the progress I've made on the basket. I've got the bottom of the basket done, and I'm just starting to work up the sides. I'm going to give this a little bit of a break because my hands are starting to hurt. I've got the perfect project I need to finish up. It's just a nice little scarf with this nice pattern. It will be a tutorial. Probably by the time this video is out, it is already up on my channel. So check that out if you're interested in this. It just uses this Unforgettable by Red Heart. And it's just a nice, soft, roving style yarn. Works up really quickly. Very stress-free on your hands. So I'm going to finish this up. I think I'm going to need another ball of this yarn, which I do have. So that would use up the rest of this plus another one. Let's see how far I can get before day one is over. Finished with one of these for that scarf. Grabbing another one to finish it off. Not sure how far I will get tonight. It's getting late. We'll check in the morning. Hello, it is August 2nd. I made some good progress yesterday. I'm happy with myself. It was a Friday. I had to go to work. I didn't have a lot of time to crochet. I didn't even really know what I wanted to crochet or make or use with yarn. So I finished the scarf. I will show you that right here. I actually filmed the very ending of this tutorial, so I'm gonna have to edit that today and try to get that up, but it came out really nice. Just look at that stitch pattern, super nice. Now I did go into a second ball of yarn, and this is the Unforgettable by Red Heart. Super nice yarn. I really like working with it. It's easy to work with. The only thing is you can't frog with it. So you really have to know the stitch pattern, because if you don't and you have to frog, you're going to wind up probably having to cut your yarn and joining in again. So I have 3 of these. That scarf took one entire ball of yarn and a good amount of this. There's still a lot left. I did work a couple of rows, and you can see that. I don't know where I joined in, but I worked maybe a foot. Look at the difference in that green, and I don't know if you can tell on camera, but it's kind of a very bright green compared to everything else in the scarf. And this is from that second ball of yarn. So I went back and I checked. I got these all at the same time, but I did check to see if the lot number was the same. So this lot number, this is the second ball of yarn, and you can see it's a very green, different green than most of this scarf, the greens in this scarf. So I checked the lot numbers, and they are the same. I don't know. It doesn't bother me too much. I don't care. It kind of adds a little uniqueness to it. I do wish that some of this green had come out in that fringe. And I was pulling from the same spot. And that was a lot of fringe on the end. So I thought for sure I was going to get some of this bright green and I could tie it into the scarf in the fringe. But no such luck. So whatever, it is what it is. Nothing we can do about it. Like I said, this yarn is really hard to frog. I didn't realize how much longer I wanted to go with this scarf. And so when I saw this bright green or teal, I wasn't too worried because I thought there would be another, row of it, or it would be somewhere else in the scarf as well. But then when I stopped last night, because it was getting pretty late, I measured it. This scarf is plenty long. Time to finish it off, put on the fringe, and call it a finished project. Yeah, there's no more of that bright teal in there, so it is what it is. I don't care. I'm done. It's done. It's no longer a work in progress, and I used one ball of yarn. August 1st, just this one, but I do have a finished project to show for it. On the basket, I made quite a bit of progress. So we've got the entire bottom done and a good maybe 2 inches worked up. I still have most of these skeins left, so this probably is the least amount that I have left, which is great because this is not my favorite yarn. Although I have to say I've used that yarn to make baskets, and tying it together with just solid acrylic yarns, it looks fantastic. So if you have any of the Craft Smart Never Enough, I don't even know where I got this. if this was a Michaels, if I got it online. I don't remember. It's been years, and it's just been sitting in my yarn closet area because I don't like the feel of it. You can't really, I don't know, it's very like acrylic-y, but not in the good way. So I made a basket using this, and it came out fantastic. So that's what I'm using it for now. Anytime that I want to make a basket, that's what I go to first. I think I had more than one ball of this. I might have had 2 or 3, and this is my last one. So those baskets really eat it up, and it looks fantastic. So that was August 1st progress. Very happy with how it's coming so far, especially because that was a work day for me. I didn't have a lot of time. I did have to stop on the basket and switch back and forth between the basket and the scarf last night because I was getting blisters on my right hand because using the larger crochet hook, holding 3 strands together, creating that basket and the tension, it was getting to be too much and I was starting to get a blister. So I stopped that, went to the scarf, tried to pick the basket up a little bit later after I finished the scarf, and I could feel that it was probably not the best idea if I wanted to do anything today or this weekend. So it is Saturday, August 2nd. What am I going to do today? I'm going to try to work a little bit on this basket, but I'm not going to push it. That's just going to be kind of a month long or however long it takes me to finish it. It's really not hard. They're just single crochets in the round, but it's the tension and it wears on your fingers a little bit. So you do have to stop. You can't just sit there and do it straight or you won't be able to move the next day. I know we're probably going to run some errands. I've got some things to do around the house. So I don't know if I'm going to work on crochet or knitting or anything all day. Plus it's beautiful out. I've got the door open. It's cool out. We've had so much heat the last week and a half, 2 weeks, that this feels gorgeous. I might just want to sit outside, maybe read. I might crochet outside. We're just going to see what happens during the day. But I know we have to run some errands and I got some other things I need to do. I think since I do want to finish up these, and I do have one more ball of this, I want to finish up at least this one. I'm going to try to do a triangle type, like really small cowl type wrap thing, depending on how much yarn I can get out of this. I don't know what stitch pattern. I might just do the granny stitch because it's fast. I'm going to look online and see if I can find some sort of triangle pattern that's free, would be really quick to work up, that might get me to finish this off. And then I've got another one if I need to increase the size at all. So that's what I want to do for today. I don't know what else I want to make. We'll see. So here we go, August 2nd. Let's see where the day takes us. It's me again. It's just a few hours later. I've been editing and doing a couple other things around the house. I got caught on YouTube for like, I don't know, maybe 5 minutes, and I found a pattern that I kind of want to work up. I already picked the yarn. I think this is going to happen, but hear me out. It is my niece's birthday tomorrow, and I'm thinking what might be kind of cool, maybe, is if I make a mesh bag, so almost like a mesh market bag, to put all of her gifts in. I'm going to wrap the gifts up and then put them in a finished bag. And worst case scenario, if I don't get this done today or tomorrow by the time I see her, I can finish it up. It shouldn't be too complicated, too in-depth, take too long, and I still use some yarn and I have a finished project. If not today, definitely by the end of the day tomorrow. So I think that's my plan. I have finished with the bottom, and I've started working some of the mesh rows for this bag. I'm absolutely loving this pattern. It is called the Maui Market Bag by Pretty Peaceful. It is a tutorial on YouTube, so I will link that down below, so check that out, as well as any of the other projects that I wind up doing and making throughout this whole month. I'll list everything down below along with a link to where I found the pattern. It's August 3rd, checking in on what I did yesterday. I finished the Maui Market Bag. Love this pattern, this project. I will be making more of these. This is a free pattern from Pretty Peaceful. There is a YouTube video tutorial where she really goes step by step on how to make this. So I highly recommend that if you are very new to crochet and you want to make a bag. She spends a lot of time going through each individual step. So we start down at the bottom, work in the round, and then work up the mesh, and then shape the sides and the handles. Came out super pretty, very happy with it. This is all I have left of those 3 cakes that I had of this. I'm going to count this as using it up because there's really not much left in here to make a project unless it's something super tiny. So I'm going to put the rest of this in my cotton scrap bag. We can take the label off because I'm counting it. So I used 3 and I have 1 project to show for it. Did not work anything on this basket. Totally fine. Resting my hands. I did start a V-stitch triangle shawl with the rest of that skein of yarn that I had, the Unforgettable by Red Heart. This pattern is a Hooked by Robin pattern, and I will link that video tutorial down below, so if you're interested, check it out. So far, really loving how it's working up, and it's super quick. So I might be able to at least finish this up today, see how big it is. I've got 1 more of these, so I can always add length and size if I need to. And that's all I did yesterday. Today, not sure how much I'm going to get done. We're having family come over later. I've got a bunch of stuff to do around the house to get ready for that, so I don't foresee myself crocheting a whole bunch today. And tomorrow's Monday, which is a work day, so this could be a rather quick week of updates coming up. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to August 4th. It's Monday. It's a beautiful day out, as long as we don't get the smoke from the wildfires. It's about 6 o'clock. I'm heading off to work. I don't think I'll be doing much crocheting or using yarn today, but we'll see once I get home. Welcome to August 5th. It is a Tuesday, and alas, it is another work day for me. Yesterday, August 4th, did not finish any yarn, did not finish any projects, did not do much of anything when I got home. So today might be a little bit of the same. I'll give you a better update, I hope, later. So we'll see. But for August 4th, no yarn used, no projects finished. All right, so this is what I have so far for the wrap. Kind of a small-ish wrap, and this is how much yarn I have left. So I'm thinking I'm going to end with the back and forth rows of the V-stitch and finish this with 1 round of single crochet. It's done. So I finished 1 more ball of yarn of this, and this is all I have left. I was really afraid I was going to play yarn chicken. It was close. Very happy this one is done, and now we can move on to something else. What should we make? This yarn has been calling my name for quite a while. Hobie Fluffy Days acrylic yarn. It's really soft. I think I might try to knit a beanie hat. Hello and welcome to August 6th. Today is Wednesday. I get to work from home, so yay for that. I stayed up way too late last night working up this knit beanie. We are now into August 7th. I didn't do much of anything yesterday, so nothing to report on yarn or projects. This is how far I got on the hat. So I'm making really good progress actually for only picking it up like very few times since I started it. I've just been super busy at work. Yesterday after work, we ran some errands. I had to come home, get dinner ready, all that stuff. And then afterwards I was just exhausted. So didn't get as much done on this as I wanted. That's okay. My plan for August 7th, it's Thursday, once I finish working, I'm going to finish this beanie hat. Hello and welcome to August 8th. Another beautiful day. A little bit warm, a little bit muggy today. But thankfully it's Friday. I have gotten absolutely nothing done this week as far as knit and crochet. I didn't work on anything last night. Nothing to report for August 7th. It is still August 8th and I'm back. It's almost 4, it's like 3:45, 3:30-ish maybe. Finished work. Time to get started on the weekend. So, let's take a look at the knitted beanie that I'm currently in the process of trying to finish. This is how much I have. It's about 6.5, 7 inches so far. I have to get up to about 11 and a half before I start decreasing. I am confident that I can get to that point tonight. However, I've decided I want a new project to work on. And actually, this one I want to make into a tutorial. If this yarn looks familiar to you, then this actually did make it into a tutorial on my channel. If not, well, I'm using this yarn, trying to make a blanket. We'll see how it goes. We are into August 9th. I have very little progress so far this month. What did I do last night? Not much, although I did start on a baby blanket pattern. I got maybe like 6-7 rows in, so not bad. Maybe like an inch, 2 inches done on that. That's what I focused on. Made really good progress with that, so that's fine. And once I get that done, it means I can do a tutorial and post a video. Basket, 0 work, although I really think I can finish that today. And I know I've said this for like every day, but I really do think so. It's a Saturday. I've got all day. And I am almost done with that knit beanie hat. And I really love that project. So at least the basket and the hat today. And obviously I might probably start something else. It is still August 9th, Saturday, and I have finally gotten enough length where I can start to work the decrease. So, here we go with the decrease. I hope I don't mess it up. Hopefully the next update I give you is a finished beanie. I finished it. I put a little beanie thing on top, a little fluffy thing, and I think it turned out super cute. Making some good progress with my baby blanket, progress with my granny squares, and a little bit of progress with the basket. Worked up the sides, so I'm happy with that. I really want to finish this today, so hopefully I can do that. Unfortunately, I don't know if that finishing this basket is going to finish off the yarn. Welcome to August 11th. It is once again a Monday, so I have to go to work, but I wanted to show you what I finished yesterday. We have a finished basket. You can see how those colors came together. Really happy with it. I really don't think there's a bad combination of colors when making baskets, even if you wanted to do a scrappy style basket. So really happy with this. It's a nice size, however, did not use all the yarn. I had to come out and show you the most beautiful flower that is blooming in our garden outside. I have never seen a flower quite that big and beautiful. Hi guys, welcome to Tuesday, August 12th. It is late. Did not do much of anything yesterday. Did not do much of anything today. But I am going to start a new project. Yes, you heard that right. A new project. I think for this project, I am going to go with a Karen cloud cake. Very pretty. This one has 760 yards. That should be enough. I need a 7mm and a 5mm crochet hook. And hopefully I can get a little bit of progress made before I call it a night. Good morning. Welcome to Wednesday, August 13th. So last night I told you that I started a new project with this yarn, and you can see I've kind of made some progress. That middle is dwindling, and I will show you that in just a second. I also finished up granny squares. This is part of my independent virtual yarn shopping project where I crochet granny squares using yarns from all of these various independent yarn shops across the United States. This one is from Gem Luxe Fibers, and by the time this video comes out, the video for this shop will already be out, so check that out if you're interested in the yarns. It's another work day. Won't get a lot of work done as far as crochet goes. You might see me later with a little bit of an update. But now I will show you what the new project is that I started. Can you guess? It is a top-down t-shirt. I will link the pattern and I'll show it to you once it's done. It's very early on. I've just worked maybe 4 or 5 rows. Really liking how it's working up. We've got a sleeve over here, a sleeve over here, and then this is the middle of the back, and there's the front. Really liking the colors so far. So this is all I got done last night. Still some progress though. All right, time to get to work, and hopefully I can pick this up later on this afternoon. Welcome to Thursday, August 14th. In the evening, just realized I haven't given any sort of update for today. Didn't do much, haven't done much, I should say, this week at all. However, I did a V-stitch granny square tutorial, so I did something, didn't use up much yarn, and it's not a full project, so it doesn't really count for this video. So tomorrow's Friday, the 15th. Super excited for Friday. I hope I can get a little bit more done than what I've been doing and use up some of this yarn. So fingers crossed, we'll see. I'll see you tomorrow. Welcome to Friday. It is August 15th. Thank goodness it is finally Friday. I am so ready for Friday. Did not get too much done this week. I did manage to work up a few rows of my new project, which is a crochet top. So I'll show you that in just a second. Otherwise, I have not finished really any yarn. I have not really finished any projects. We're already halfway through the month, and this is tough. It's a good challenge, but this is tough. So let me show you that top I am currently working on, hoping to finish it today. I've got to go to work, I've got to run a few errands, and then I've got the whole weekend to just sit and crochet and relax. So looking forward to it. This is the progress on my top. I've got the sleeves done. I still have quite a lot of yarn. I'm going to keep going and make this, instead of a crop top per the pattern, I'm going to keep going and add some length. I also might do a single crochet around the neckline, the sleeves, and the bottom just to kind of finish it off. But I'm loving this color scheme. This is super soft yarn, super cute, really easy top to do, so I highly recommend that. So hopefully tomorrow I will have a finished top and maybe a finished cake of yarn. Not counting on that. There's still quite a lot left. Guess where I am? It's Monday, August 18th. I got very little done this weekend, so we're gonna ignore that. I did finish one thing and I will show you that later, but for now it is early Monday morning and I'm at work. Full day of work. I'll check in later. And more beautiful flower pictures, since I have zero things to show you from the weekend. But I am home now, Monday night, going to work on something, probably start a new project, and I will show you that to you in the morning. Good morning. Welcome to Tuesday, August 19th. Last night I went to bed really early. I was so tired. I started getting a headache, did not work on anything. But I did want to show you the crochet top that I managed to finish over the weekend. It's the only thing that I got done this weekend. Unfortunately, I didn't use up that entire cake of yarn. I still have quite a bit left. Because it's so early in the morning and it's kind of overcast, the lighting is not going to be perfect on this morning shot of this top. But you can see I finished it. It was just double crochets and treble crochets, and I will link the pattern down below. I did add 2 rows of single crochet around the neckline, around the sleeves, and around the bottom. So that just kind of finished it off. It is off the shoulder. I have it pulled up a little bit so it doesn't fall off the mannequin, but the neckline is very much off the shoulder, and you do get a little bit of sleeves, although you're not really creating long sleeves. You could if you wanted to, but I just chose to do a short sleeve top. Colorway worked up so nicely, and it was a really, really easy make. I should have had this finished earlier in the weekend. I was just lacking in time and really in motivation, I guess. It is now time to find another project. Welcome to Wednesday, August 20th. Wow, this month is flying by and I feel like I've got so little to show for all of the work that I've tried to put in. I did start a new project last night using up some of the yarn that I didn't quite finish from the knitted hat and the crochet crop top that I made a little bit longer. So I'm using some of the Karen cloud cakes because I still have quite a bit left. I'm holding that together with the Hobie fluffy yarn that I used in that knit hat. And I'm making, I hope, an ear warmer. So I have started knitting up an ear warmer, and this one is going to be one of those that you kind of fold in the center so it has like a nice little look to it. We'll see how it goes. It's kind of, I'm just winging it, so if it goes really well, I might do a tutorial on it. It's super easy because we're just knitting in the round. There's no purling, so you get that really nice knit stockinette stitch. And holding the 2 strands of these yarns together, I'm really enjoying that. So the colorway is coming out pretty unique, pretty cool. That's one of the best things about knitting and crochet, is kind of mixing these colors together and yarns together, and you can get a whole different look. So yes, it is Wednesday. I have to go to work. I do plan on starting yet another project, and this is going to be kind of more of a scrappy project. So this one I'm hoping will use up a little bit more yarn. I'm going to make another basket, and I think this time I'm going to use my granny square base pattern. So I do have a tutorial for that, and I will link all of these again down below. So hopefully I'll have an update for you later. If not, I will see you tomorrow. Welcome to August 21st. It is mid-afternoon. Just finished up working. It's been a long week. I am so excited for Friday. I did not do very much yesterday. I worked just a little bit on this head warmer, and you can kind of see those colors. Really unique, interesting look, so I'm kind of excited about that. And last night I did start on my granny square base basket. So I've got 3 different yarns held together with a very large hook. And as you can tell, that base is just a square. And it is a granny square. I am using half double crochet stitches just to make them a little bit tighter, and then just working up the sides now. It creates a nice quick basket project. And the thing that I love the most about the granny square base basket is that the bottom is not a circle, so you don't have to worry about counting your stitches. That is the one thing that gets me and slows me down when making baskets, is that bottom circle every time. So this is especially nice if you don't want to have to count stitches, have a stitch marker. You can just create your granny square however you normally do, and then build up the sides, and you get a nice square basket. So this is what I'm going to be working on tonight, along with a little bit of my ear warmer, and hopefully I can use up some yarn. It looks like this blue yarn is just about done, so I'm probably going to have to pick another blue and make this more of a scrappy basket. So onward and upward. We're into Thursday already, halfway through the day, and let me tell you, I'm exhausted. So I'm gonna finish up here, start relaxing, working on some of these projects that I need and want to get done, and I'll see you in the morning. Welcome to Friday, August 22nd, early in the morning. I have to get some work done today, and then I am planning, please let me get some crochet and knitting finished. I'm making good progress, but still a long way to go. So happy Friday, everyone. It's almost the weekend. Welcome to August 24th. I am working on a whip from years ago. It's a latch hook rug of the Detroit Lions football logo for my son. This is an unplanned project because I cut my thumb the other day. I cannot crochet, I cannot knit, I cannot do much of anything, but I can cut little pieces of yarn, and I can hold the hook in between my other fingers, and it works. It's slower, but it works, and so I can do something. So I'm hoping that this injury is going to force me to be able to finish this whip. That's a whole nother video, but hopefully you'll see that very soon as well. So again, no crocheting the last few days, no knitting. I've got my other projects just sitting there almost done, but those are going to have to wait. We're going to be working on this for a while. Welcome to Monday, August 25th, I think. So over the weekend, Friday night, I sliced my thumb open right there in the kitchen. I think this is a sign that I need to stay out of the kitchen. So anyway, the weekend was a complete bust. I didn't get to work on anything that I wanted to. I really can't do a whole lot with this hand just because I want it to heal up faster. It really doesn't hurt at all. I just keep looking at my projects wanting to grab my hook or my knitting needles and get to work, and I just can't. I did, however, put in some work on my very old whip, which is a Detroit Lions latch hook rug. I'm able to do that. I can cut the yarn and I can use this hand in a limited way to hook the yarn into the canvas. So I've been able to do that. I guess that's a good excuse to get that whip going, and maybe I'll finish it. So I don't know if I'm going to get anything done this week before September. I'm hoping maybe I can get a little bit more done on something if this heals up quickly. If not, this is going to be quite an epic failure of a project. An absolutely gorgeous Wednesday morning. I'm off to work, all bandaged up. Still can't do any crochet. I can't really put pressure on that. So disappointing, but in no time it'll be healed and there'll be an abundance of projects that I need to do. So in the meantime, we are working on the Detroit Lions latch hook rug, and I'm making some good progress on it. Could go faster, but I'm not pushing myself, just doing a little at a time, and just kind of catching up on resting and not having to worry about anything, not being stressed out, trying. So, what did you think? I really had fun doing this despite all of those setbacks. It was really a learning experience. I kind of saw how much time that I actually have or don't have to crochet in any given month. I'm definitely going to be doing this again, probably not until my thumb heals, but I will definitely do it again. It's a fun way to challenge yourself, use up some yarn, and create some projects you might not have made otherwise. So let's take a look at all of the projects that I made and finished in August. So the first project that I started and did not finish until later in the month, the basket. It's actually a super easy project, really quick, and you get a really nice, handy, sturdy basket at the end. In fact, I'm keeping my finished projects from August in here for now. And surprisingly, I didn't use up any full skeins or balls or hanks of yarn with that project. I thought for sure I would use up some, but I didn't. I still have now half skeins that I need to use up because of this basket project, but that's okay. The next project was the window box scarf, which is right here. And this is actually a tutorial, so if you're interested, I will link that down below. And all of the pattern information, where I got the patterns from for these projects, will be down below. So enjoy the video, and at the end you can kind of scroll down in the description box and all of the information will be there if you're interested in making any of these. So this was just a sort of narrow type scarf and worked up really nice, really quick. I used one ball for this, and then I tied on at the very end a second ball, and you can see right here that green was not in the first ball at all. So my scarf has at the very end a kind of a bright green stripe, which is fine. I mean, and it's funny because they were all the same dye lot, so I don't know what happened. Anyway, window box scarf, I added some fringe at the end. Came out really cute. Easy, quick project if you're looking for something fast for a gift. And typically the Red Heart Unforgettable yarn makes really great scarves and shawls and things because it's soft and it's nice against your skin. The third project I worked on was the Maui Market Bag. This is a pattern from Pretty Peaceful. Again, look down below for that information. Super easy. I loved how this bag came out. I don't have it right now because I gifted it to my niece for her birthday. But I made that in basically one day. And that used 3 cakes of peaches and cream in the color Energetic Pink. The next project I started on was a corner to corner granny stitch shawl. So I just made a very simple, small shawl or a wrap or something. Now you could easily put a button or something on the two corners that come across over your chest to keep it closed. I was just using up some yarn. If I find a button that matches this, I may throw it on there, or a clasp or something. But for now, it's done. I added a single crochet border all around, so just kind of finished it off. I was able to use the rest of the yarn from the scarf that I had been working on. So in total, I used 3 balls of the Red Heart Unforgettable, 1 for the scarf, 1 and just a little bit for the scarf, 1 and just a tiny bit for the scarf, and then 2 full balls for this granny shawl. Project 5 is this knit beanie. This is a pattern from Passionate Kelsey, link down below. It is a super easy knit hat. It's just ribbed, and then I added the little pom-pom at the top. Fits perfectly. It was so easy to do. I'm definitely going to make another one. And the yarn that I use for this is the Hobie Fluffy yarn. So it's a really nice kind of pink mauve type. And I had a nice pink little pom-pom thing for the top. So happy with how this turned out as well. Next up, I made this nice top down construction. Works up really easy. It's just treble crochets, double crochets. I did a single crochet border around the sleeves, the neckline, and the bottom. This is a pattern from ABOC Studio, and the pattern is actually just like a crop top, but I wanted to make it a little bit longer, so I did that. If I make it again and make it longer, I might increase the bottom just to give it a little bit of a flare out, but really it's a super easy pattern, and she gives different sizes in her YouTube tutorial, so you can pick a size and it should work. So for this, I use the Karen Cotton Cakes in the colorway Saltwater Taffy, and I really like it. I think it came out super cute. I worked on this for a couple days. It was not a super fast project, although it could be. I could have gotten it done in like a day or two, but life happens. And the rest of the month, I really did not do very much. I started another basket, as you saw. I started some earwarmers that I am trying to work into an easy pattern to put up on my channel. That is still a work in progress. After I injured my thumb, I really couldn't even hold a crochet hook, let alone knitting needles. I couldn't do much of anything. I could work on latch hook. I found a way to not use my thumb. So I worked on a very old whip, which is going to be another video, so I won't talk too much about that. But it is a Detroit Lions logo latch hook rug. I just have some of the background to work on. It should not be taking me this long. I mean, it's been like 5 or 6 years now. That needs to get done. So I have tried to work on that a little bit. I've made some progress, not a whole lot, but that's for another video. So let's take a look at all of these yarn labels. I actually used way more yarn than I thought, especially after all of these little setbacks. I have 3 of the Red Heart Unforgettable Meadow. So 3 of those. Craft Smart. This is a yarn that is not one of my favorites. It's just not as soft, so I like to use this for baskets, which works perfectly. This was that turquoise mint color, which is in this basket, and I think it's also in the other basket too that is not done yet. 3 Peaches and Cream. This was the energetic pink that I used for the Maui market bag. So 3 of those. And I used up one of the Hobie Fluffy Day yarn in this hat and then partially in the ear warmer that I'm working on. So technically maybe I would have gotten a few more projects done, a little bit more yarn used. But what can you do? Next time. I learned so much from doing this. It was a fun experiment. Definitely going to do it again. Really had fun thinking of projects I wanted to make. And it's funny because after I injured myself, sliced my finger, and couldn't do anything, it was suddenly all this creativity was in my brain, and I just wanted to sit down and work something up, and I couldn't. So it's funny how that works. And thanks so much for watching. Let me know if you try out any of the patterns below, and let me know in the comments if you've done any sort of experiment like this. Whether it's a how much can you knit or crochet in a day or a week or a month, or how many projects can you make in a certain amount of time. It's always fun to see what people have tried and what works and what doesn't work. So while this month, August, was kind of a fail, I still learned a lot, and I still want to do another how much can I make, use video. It really challenges me to be more creative and to use up some of this yarn so I can buy more. And that wraps up the August how much can I make, how much yarn can I use video. Be sure to give it a thumbs up if this is something that you like and would like to see more of. And I will see you in my next video. Bye.